this session, our Senior Director of Product, Connor Keenley, is going to show you how to manage your entire job flow in your Housecall Pro account. He'll cover workflow optimization, accurate estimate generation, and efficient scheduling and dispatching. Whether you've been using these fundamental features in Housecall for a long time or you're just learning how to do them today, this session is going to be a great resource for improving your job management skills. Over to you, Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor, Senior Director of Product here at Housecall Pro. And in this session, we're going to go through how you can manage jobs on the Housecall Pro platform. So in this session, we're going to cover our basic jobs functionality. For the more advanced Housecall Pro user, a lot of this may be repetitive, but I'm going to jump into a couple tips and tricks and more advanced things on jobs itself so that hopefully everyone can learn a little bit something. So we're going to start off by going through an estimate, converting it into a job, and then getting a customer to actually pay for that job. So I'm going to start here by creating an estimate. So in the new estimate flow, I'm going to select my customer. This customer I've serviced before, so they're going to show up pre-populated, but if I wanted to add a new customer, I could do that as well. I'm also going to start to add the line items for the job that's going to be done. So this is going to be a hot water heater install job. And that's a job I run a lot. So I'm going to go and look at my templates. Estimate templates are a feature we added in the last couple of months that allows you to standardize the services that you're providing to your customers to make it quick and easy for you to build out multiple option estimates without having to build them all with each individual one or building them while you're out in the field. So you can see here, I have 3 different templates for hot water heater installs. I'm going to add all 3 of them to the job like this. Schedule the estimate for later today. Save it. Save the estimate. And now the estimate's created. When I create that estimate, a couple things are going to happen. I'm going to send, the Housecall Pro is going to send a notification to the technician that's assigned, letting them know they've been dispatched for that estimate. We've also sent a text message to the customer, letting them know that their estimate's been created and what time we're scheduled to come out for. So now we're ready to actually go out and perform the estimate. So I'm going to let the customer know I'm on my way by clicking the On My Way button here. This is going to send a text message to them, letting them know I'm on my way, and we'll be there soon to actually work through the estimate with them. So I've arrived at the customer's house, looked at the job, seen what needs to be done, and now I'm actually ready to talk through the estimate with the customer. This is a really good place for us to use our sales proposal tool. The sales proposal tool is a visual view built on top of estimates that allows you to more easily talk through the work you're going to do with your customer in a way that's very visual, easy to understand, and a nice, clean presentation that will show off the brand of your company and increase your professionalism as you're looking to close the customer on this work. So I've added these 3 separate options to this estimate using my estimate templates. Now I'm going to click the present button here, which is going to pull me into the sales proposal tool presentation mode. This is where you can talk through all of the different options you have. You also can show the consumer financing here. This will show the as low as price, which encourages your customers to go for maybe a higher priced option because they can pay over time with it. And also allows you to kind of jump in and out of each one of these to show the descriptions, show the photos on it. We also showed the photos on the line items here, which let you get super detailed in exactly what's going on. A couple things to point out here on the estimate just to help you control what the customer sees and how they experience the actual estimate as you're running through it with them. The first piece is the expiration date. I can set this for whenever I want. I also can default this in my company to be for 30 days out, 90 days out, whatever you want. This will do a couple things. One, it will show the customer when this estimate expires, driving a little bit of urgency for them to actually make a purchasing decision. The other thing this is going to do is after that expiration date, the customer isn't going to be able to see that estimate anymore. They're not going to be able to see the prices, so they can't come back and after 6 months or anything like that, come back and say, oh, I want to pay this price. We're going to hide all that. They can click on the link, still see it, and then call you if they want to move forward with it, and then you can work through the estimate again with them. The other option we added here recently is the ability for the customer to approve more than one option. So this allows you to build out an estimate with multiple different services that the customer could do one of, could do multiple of, could do none of, to help you drive larger ticket prices. So we're going to build out an estimate using that option now. So I'm going to use an example here as a pressure washing company, and we're going to create an estimate for a couple different pieces of work for my customer. So I'm going to go through and create another estimate, select my customer, and now we're going to add the services. So after looking at my customer's property, I see that I can pressure wash the driveway, I can pressure wash some of their fence, and then I also can clean out their gutters. I can go back into my estimate templates again and grab the templates for each one of those. So we'll grab the fence, the driveway, and then the gutters. Select those and save them to the estimate. Now each one of those is added as an option on this estimate that I can present to my customer. So using the sales proposal tool again, I'm going to present these to my customer. I also can send it to the customer for them to approve on their own, but I'm in front of them, so why not use the sales proposal tool to actually walk through it with them. I'm going to talk through each individual one, and now the customer decided that they want to go with the driveway option and the fence option, but don't want to go with the gutter. So what I can do is approve the fence, approve the driveway, and now I'm going to convert that into a job. So now I've converted this estimate into a job where I can actually now do the work and collect payment. Similar to an estimate, you can schedule the job for whenever works for you and your company, send an on my way message that'll let the customer know you're on your way, and then ultimately start and complete it. A couple different features to know about when performing jobs, just to ensure consistency, as well as add more content and more information about the actual work you're doing. One would be checklists. Checklists are a really great way to help you as an owner ensure that your employees out in the field are doing the work that you want to make sure they do it, the way you want to make sure that they're doing it. So example checklist could be a diagnostic checklist if you're in a plumbing or HVAC company. I have another one here for a cleaning checklist, just to make sure that my employees are going through and checking the fridge, changing the laundry, sweeping up. These are all great ways to not only ensure your employees are going through the required steps in the right way of doing the work, but these checklists can also be added to the invoice and sent to the customer. It's really great for showing the customer the value of the work you're providing. They can see all of the things you did, all the information you captured. If you're in a mechanical industry, you can show readings or any information about the unit itself, showing maybe, hey, this needs to be replaced soon. This isn't looking so good. This is something you should consider. All of that to hopefully drive more interaction with your customer, more jobs into the future, and eventually more revenue from each one of them. A couple other pieces here just to allow you and your company to get more insight into the work that's actually being done in the field is private notes and attachments. So private notes are simply just notes between your company about the work that's being done. You can add these in the office, out in the field. They're a line of communication that provides the timestamps of what's happening along the way to give really clear insight into what's going on. These can only ever be seen by your company. These will never be seen by your customer. So you can put whatever you want into these. The last piece here is attachments. Attachments allow you to add photos, upload photos from the field or when you're back in the office to the job itself. All of these attachments can also be viewed on the customer profile. Examples of things that are good to add to attachments is a photo of a unit if you're in a mechanical industry to show what they have. That allows you in the future, if they call back, you can quickly and easily go and look at what equipment they have, know what parts to bring with you, know how old it is. Another good option here is including photos of anything that needs to be possibly serviced in the future. So if you're in a cleaning industry or a pressure washing industry, you can take pictures of maybe a sidewalk that needs to be cleaned that they didn't want to do last time. It gives you a really good chance when they call in the next time to say, oh, I remember last time we were there, your driveway, your sidewalk needed to be pressure washed. Is that something you're interested in doing on this next call? The more context you have there, the better conversation you can have with your customer, the more insight you can give them, more personalized the experience feels with them, ultimately to drive a better customer experience. The last piece in managing jobs we'll go through today is managing and scheduling your jobs on our calendar. So over the past couple months, we've added a lot of functionality to our calendar based off the pro votes we've gotten from you guys. Looking at my calendar here, I can view my jobs by week, day, month, whatever is fitting for me and my org. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to point out as super valuable pieces we've added recently. One is the view by employee. This allows you to look across schedules, across all of the different people in your company to get quick and easy understanding of who's doing what, who's available at which times, so that you can make scheduling decisions based off of who's available. Another piece that was a big pro vote that we added recently is color coding by location. So if you look at this area at the top right, I can select how I want to color the jobs on my calendar. Originally, we just had the ability to color by employee, but recently we added the ability to color by location. I'm going to select that location, and what that allows me to do is show all of these jobs colored based off of the zip code on that job. Through this setup here, I can set up the color by zip code, add multiple different zip codes per color, edit those on the fly quickly and easily, which will save across my entire company. That allows me to ensure that my schedule is optimized, to ensure that no one's running across city to go from one zip code to another zip code that's super far away. All of it to make you able to quickly and easily see what's going on out in the field. The last piece that I wanted to make sure to go through is our new appointments functionality. This is something we added in October of last year, which allows you to quickly and easily manage jobs across multiple different days. Historically, you may have had to do that through different segments, which just caused a lot of confusion. So we added the ability to have multiple different appointments on a job itself. So if I look at this job, we'll use an example of a refrigerator repair job where I'm going to go out and look at the fridge to see what the problem is, diagnose it. Then I need to order a part and come back once that part is in stock. So here I have the original appointment where I'm going to go out and diagnose it, find the problem, and now I need to add a second appointment for when I want to actually go back. I'm going to go here, add the second appointment, find a time in the future, and now I have both of these appointments on the job itself without having to create a separate segment or split line items across multiple different segments. All that's going to be combined on just one job itself. So we've added a lot of things to this calendar recently. There's a few more things that are coming in the next couple months around being able to view your jobs on a map, as well as schedule jobs for any time, not having to put an exact time, but putting a job just for a date. We'll talk through more of those in the product roadmap session. So that's an example of how to run a job within Housecall Pro, starting with an estimate all the way through to a job and completing that job. So let's jump into some of the questions in the chat here. Okay, looking at the first one here, the question is, what's the experience for employees on mobile? So our mobile functionality is very robust and depends based off of the permissions and settings you give your employees. We have one setting as an admin where the admin can create jobs, schedule jobs, add line items, do whatever they need to do to manage those jobs from what we like to say, from a stoplight. So really a full and complete product experience from the palm of your hand on our mobile app. That can change drastically based off of the permissions you give your employees. So on the field tech permissions, that will reduce a lot of what they see down to exactly what you do or don't want them to see and actually manage. So you can take away the ability of your employees to see prices, to collect payment, all the way down to really just showing the employee the address they need to go to, the work that needs to be done, and when to be there. So the experience can vary greatly based off of what your employees want to actually see, all the way from a very robust mobile experience all the way through just a simple what to do and when to be there sort of experience for those employees who don't want to see a whole lot of information about the job. And then next question here on what is the experience for the customer? So the customer experience is something we put a lot of time and energy into. and making sure we're showing you as a pro are showing as much information as you want to your customer about the work that's going to be done and when you get there. We include things like a scheduled text and a scheduled email, letting them know that the job's been created and when it's scheduled for. We have the on my way message that we looked at earlier that allows you to let the customer know that you're on your way to their house. That can be triggered by the office or the employee out in the field. Then finally, the pay online link that we have as well. You can send that link to the customer, which allows them to click it and view all the information for the job, and then quickly and easily pay via credit card or ACH if you're set up with Housecall Pro payments, all from the comfort of their own home. All of this is customizable. You have the ability to customize the actual content that goes out in the text messages. You have the ability to turn off all of that if you don't want your customer seeing anything or receiving anything from you. But all of that is built with the intent of giving your customer as much visibility and as much insight into the work that's being done, as well as allowing you to increase your brand presence by having better communication with those customers, really making them feel comfortable with who you are, your company, and the work you're doing. So those are all the questions we'll jump into now. If you have any other questions, please stop by the Manage Your Jobs booth in the virtual conference floor. Thanks.
Thanks for joining the session on managing jobs. Whether you are learning for the first time or getting a Housecall Pro 101 refresher, we hope that the session was helpful to you. If you want more training, be sure to check out the help desk tutorials or chat into the blue chat bubble. Thank you once again for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at the next session.